Welcome to Inner Peace Arts Unscripted. I'm your host, James Coleman, where if you're attending this presentation, you're open to the truth as it can be known, following in new ideas and actions, making for a better way of life. Today, by the way, I'm an inner peace artist. That means we talk about the intersection of personal development, spirituality, and social change. Today I'm going to return a little bit to this concept of personal power, which before I had said was a new theme, and I have been working on it, and it has been going differently than I imagined, but that's pretty much how it always goes. But the thing I wanted to mention about personal power today was its relationship with identity. And part of what I'm doing now is trying to work out the identity that's separate from the word we typically use, just called money. Because a lot of times how we see ourselves is reflective of how much money we have, and how we interact with others is reflective of how much money we have. And many traditions, religious traditions, will, try to work this out, and will use the concept of God as the equalizer. And we're all equal before God, and that all that. And I'm basically not using that as the equalizer. It is an equalizer, but it's not an equalizer that's actually based in how we are rooted in the world. And this is not to deny mystery. We can get into that, and we will get into that later. But this is more to address the fact that the identity that flows through us, that empowers us, I think has to be first rooted in the things around us. You come into this world not thinking about God, not thinking about spiritual things at all. You want feelings and stuff, and that's a big theme that I keep coming back to over and over again. And I think is actually the root of everything that we do. And I probably said that before, and I will say it again, because it's that foundational. And in relating our personal power and identity to feelings and stuff, you actually come away with an idea and a concept that is much more easy to understand, easy to embody, and easy to see how it operates outside of you, right? I can't see God or see spiritual things in the same sense that I can see a guy walking down the street. So I think I first need to understand, who's the guy walking down the street? Why is he walking down the street? What does it mean that he's walking down the street? How am I related to this guy walking down the street? How is he going to impact me, right? I think understanding all of that is the basis for a much more impactful spirituality, and the basis for relating to him and understanding my personal power in relationship to him or her. So this notion of personal power and identity based in feelings and stuff is actually the new basis for how I'm approaching, personal power, right? Personal power is about how am I, we could say it's about self-efficacy, which is about how am I impacting the world, and how am I making changes in the world around me such that, I'm able to meet my needs. That's one way of putting personal power. And how I see myself impacts what I do. We were talking about money. And so if I'm looking at setting my identity based upon an interpretation of feelings and stuff, well then that removes money as the medium by which I define myself, which means that I can create an atmosphere around myself which is actually not money dependent. And in creating an atmosphere around myself that's not money dependent, then I can actually invite others from all money places, right, into that presence. And that's the point. That's the point, to have a real equalizer that's not based in money and not based in in God in that sense, because that's something that comes, I think, as I mentioned before, later. It's always present, but from a communicative standpoint, I think there needs to be a much deeper understanding of self, and I'm getting into other things, but self as mystery, because that mystery is actually the connection between you and the divine. Understanding oneself as mystery connects one to the divine. But this is a mystery that's, based in feelings and stuff, and the feelings and stuff can cloud how you see the mystery. Today is reasonably abstract than I normally seem to be, but let's bring it down to some basics. You want to impact the world. I want to impact the world. I want to live in a world where people don't screw each other over. I want to live in a world where there's a bit more equity in terms of training for how to deal with feelings and stuff. So we have to recognize, so in order to do that, the identity needs to be based in something that's not part of the present system, right? And boiling down everything to feelings and stuff removes any socioeconomic barriers regarding how I regard the other, right? How I regard anyone else. Let's just keep it simple, right? So I relate to you based upon my understanding of your want of feelings and stuff, right? So not based upon your want of money. Money is a medium towards getting feelings and stuff. But you can't eat $5. You can't eat, 30 yen. You need bread, right? You need a real meal. So that's the concept that's driving this. So I'm not going to base I'm going to remove actually the things in me that are based in money. And it's not easy. Let's just put it that way. But I can feel it, and I can feel it being made manifest because, repeating these same things over and over and over and over and over again. I'll share this. I don't do this because I think I'm better than or have something or somehow special or whatever. I do it because I realize that the things that I have accepted didn't support who I am. And so I just want to share the pain of not being a part of a large, broad community where you walk outside and all the symbols around you remind you of who you are and what you are about. And that's not true when you walk outside, at least in the culture that I'm a part of. It's a reminder of you as consumer, you as cog, you as small worker in someone else's dream. And that's not how I want to live. Someone else's dream in which they did not involve you, right? They're just using you to make their dream made manifest. And I think if you're living in a small community of about 250 people, which is like kind of like a natural size for human beings, you're not going to have that. You're going to have a much more collective feel. And so, that's a little bit about another side of the personal driver. But we were talking about, once again, personal power, money, identity, and moving away from it and basing it much more on the idea of feelings and stuff, and using that as an equalizer. And how you relate to feelings and stuff really becomes the center of your identity. And you can include money in that if you want, but I'm not, because I'm seeing money as a system controlled by others that has nothing to do with helping me. But the feelings and stuff is all around me. I want some, they want some, and I can relate on that basis. I hope that was helpful. So this is James Coleman, Inner Peace Arts Unscripted. You can check out my blog, innerpeacearts.wordpress.com. Email me at innerpeacearts.protonmail.com. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. In distinction, thanks be to stream, in stream, by stream.